retelling of the 1813 classic novel Pride and Prejudice, set not in the 19th century rural England, but instead in a modern-day urban Brooklyn neighborhood. That's the premise of today's book, Pride by Ibi Zoboi. Let's start off with some background information about the author. Ibi Zoboi was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and immigrated to New York City when she was 4 years old. Fun fact, her birth name was actually Pascal Philanthrope, but she changed her first name to Ibi, the Yoruba word meaning rebirth, and then her last name was changed to her husband's last name when they married. She's been an educator and mentor for a variety of organizations across New York City for over 15 years. Her writings frequently feature Afro-Latina teen girls. Some of her other notable novels include American Street, Punching the Air, Black Enough, and My Life as an Ice Cream Sandwich. Like I said earlier, Pride reimagines the story of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. A rich, eligible young bachelor moves into the neighborhood, causing commotion among the residents. Social status, prejudice, and love are common themes explored by both books. Pride, however, takes a more modern spin on things. Let's start off with the characters. Zuri Benitez is our main character. She's a senior in high school, surrounded by her 4 lively sisters and her loving and hardworking parents. Her family is mixed Haitian and Dominican American, and she takes immense pride in her culture, her people, and her neighborhood, even if it is a little broken, as she says. The Darcys are the new rich family in town that buys and moves into an old mini mansion in the neighborhood, attracting all kinds of attention. Zuri finds the family, especially Darius Darcy, to be snobby and stuck up, while her family finds them intriguing and alluring. Let's look at the setting now. The setting is really important in this book. Pride takes place in Bushwick, a lower-income Brooklyn neighborhood with a lot of personality and culture. Zuri loves her home, but she's starting to notice that it's changing and maybe not for the better. Newer people are starting to move in, richer people, less people of color like her, and while they might be cleaning up the hood, they're washing away the love and culture behind it too. For conflict, there's 2 major things going on. Zuri's conflict with the family that just moved in across the street and the ensuing love plot that comes along with it, the will they, won't they end up together, and Zuri's own internal conflict towards gentrification and the changes that come along with it. Also, Zuri has conflicting emotions towards staying in Bushwick, a place she loves for its people and culture, but she knows she won't have as good of opportunities as she might have in other cities that have universities and colleges. A major theme in this book is gentrification. Love, pride, class and societal differences, and the strength of family bonds are all significant themes as well. As far as content warnings go, this is a pretty tame book. There's some mild cursing here and there, there's references to classism and racism. Obviously, gentrification is a huge theme in this book. Personally, I'd say the worst thing is the cursing. There are a couple of F-bombs, so maybe not the best book for middle schoolers if you want to avoid that. There is also a particular instance of a reference of someone taking sexual photos of a minor and spreading it around without their consent, but there's nothing really too graphic at all in this book. Generally, this book received overall pretty positive ratings from reviewers. However, I noticed there were some mixed reviews as well, especially when it came to Zuri's character, saying she was too rude and abrasive and generally just unlikable, and that the love story between Zuri and Darius, which some readers felt just didn't have good chemistry between them. So from my take, I'm gonna look at this from the perspective of the author's, what I think is the author's real intended audience, which is teen girls of color, which is a big part of the population that I teach. Most of the population, actually. This was one of the book options for my students this year for their independent book choice, and students who do not normally enjoy reading actually really liked this book. They liked the drama, they related to the family situation. They're also drawn into the college-related plotline since they themselves as seniors are going through the processes of applying to college, deciding where to go, and dealing with difficult feelings related to their hometowns and potentially leaving their hometowns. They got really sucked into it. They could really put themselves and see themselves in this story. It's not a hard read at all with a reading level about 13 to 18, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't cover some deeper topics. I found it surprisingly enjoyable. I mean, it's a pretty short, easy read, but I actually found myself getting sucked into it as well. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.